इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं है। क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Every day, we bring exciting and high potential franchise business opportunities from across the industry. Over the past 27 years, Franchise India has helped thousands of investors find the right franchise opportunity and successfully start their entrepreneurial journey. Franchise India, as the world's largest integrated franchise solution company, our role is to make sure your investment is safe by taking an informed decision and your journey from investor to entrepreneur is smooth and successful. In today's webinar, we will introduce a famous brand called GIVA. GIVA is India's largest silver and lab-grown diamond jewelry brand recognized for redefining the fine jewelry for the modern Indian women. Founded with a vision to make luxury accessible, Jiva blends contemporary aesthetic with authenticity, quality, and affordability. It operates under direct to consumers model while expanding aggressively through offline retail and franchise partnership. And to talk about the same, you know, we have Rishi Singh. He's the senior vice president. We have Prashanshu. He is the franchise business head, and we have Vikas Kumar, the franchise business manager, along with my colleague Akash Pandey, who is the key account manager for this brand. But before I invite Rishi to talk about the brand and the business opportunity, I would like to inform all the viewers that you would also have opportunity to ask your questions directly to the stakeholders from the brand side, and you will get the answers straight away, right, live. So my request is to please, first look at the presentation first. We will look into the presentation, and in case if you will have any question, you can put all your queries into the Q&A box, and we will take them up once the presentation is over. So now I would like to invite Rishi to take the lead. Let's start with a little bit of introduction, introduce your team, and then we will move on to the formal presentation. Yeah, over to you.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Bharat. First of all, a very big hello And thank you to the Franchise India family for hosting us. Super happy to connect with all the consultants, investors, everyone here on the panel. Very, very excited to be a part of this. Before we start, let me just quickly introduce myself and then some of the team members here on the call. So I am Rishi. I am the Senior Vice President for Strategic Initiatives and CEO's Office here at GIVA. Under my portfolio, I look at multiple different aspects of the business around expansion. One of the big parts of what I look at is also the franchise business. Joining me today from Jiva side is Prashansu. Prashansu is the national head for franchise business within the Jiva family. And we also have Vikash with us. Vikash is the franchise business manager. He looks at our entire north and east regions. All of us are super happy to connect, right? Before actually going into any nitty-gritty and opening up the presentation, right? Let me just take maybe a 2-minute story to explain the Jiva brand, what we are, where we came from, where we are today, right? So, see, like Bharat was mentioning, Jiva started in 2019 with a very simple idea. How do we make fine jewelry affordable and service the everyday use cases for the evolving Indian consumers, right? Jewelry for a very long time had been seen, at least fine jewelry had been seen as an investment avenue and not really something that consumers are wearing on an everyday basis. The world over, as you would have seen, the trend evolved, right? The world evolved from moving from jewelry as an investment avenue to jewelry as an everyday wear item, right? And that transition happened within the fine jewelry space. In India, at that time, we felt that this was a gap, something that was a need for the consumers that was not being serviced, right? So Jiva stepped in with the idea that we'll make very elegant, fine jewelry at affordable pricing for the modern Indian consumer for their everyday wear needs, right? And when we started in 2019, we launched as a silver only, online only brand, right? The next 3 years were nothing short of phenomenal. We grew very rapidly. We scaled quite fast. We became the fastest growing D2C player in India in the jewelry space. And we became the largest organized silver player in the country, right? 2023 was when we made our first big move offline. We ventured into offline. Everyone here on this call knows that jewelry continues to remain a offline heavy business, right? We decided to take the plunge and build a truly omni-channel brand. We started in 2023, and over the past 3 years, we have scaled rapidly offline. Today, offline is the larger part of our portfolio. We have about 270 stores live, which is going to go to about 350 by March of 26. We are present across 40 plus cities. Pan India, the top 8 cities, we are probably more penetrated than any other jewelry brand. We have a very wide variety of storefronts in very premium locations. At the same time, the second big expansion that we did was from a category perspective. In 2024, we ventured into gold and lab grown diamond jewelry. Again, that given the Jiva brand, given the use case that we were servicing, our consumer strength, as well as the offline footprint that we had, we were able to scale very rapidly. And again, today we are the largest lab grown diamond player in the country today, right? So from 2019 to today, we've been very fortunate to have been part of this rocket ship called Jiva, from an online only brand to a truly omni-channel brand with 270 plus stores, market leader in both silver and lab grown diamond journey. The entire journey has been absolutely phenomenal for us. And now, as we're moving on to the next phase of our growth path, we have ventured into a franchising opportunity. And this is what we wanted to discuss with all the investors and all the panelists here today. What is the proposition that Jiva is bringing to market, and what is it in it for the investors that we are willing to offer? So without further ado, if it's okay, what we can do is I can open up the presentation and we can get into a little bit of discussion. Right?
Sure. Yeah, it is visible. Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. The slide is visible?
Yes.
Perfect. So just starting off, right? Like I said, Jiva is now India's largest organized silver and lab-grown jewelry diamond brand, right? We are truly, truly redefining the jewelry experience in India. We are catering to modern Indian women. We are catering to their need to wear fine jewelry for everyday occasions. Over the past 6 years, we have significantly scaled the business. We still continue to be the largest D2C fine jewelry brand in the country. We have become the largest silver and lab grown diamond player in the country. And at the same time, we have multiple marquee celebrities that have continued to endorse us. Anushka Sharma has been our brand ambassador and has continued to sort of support the brand since a very long time now. How this has happened through two, three things that we've been able to disrupt in the market, right? An entire category that we've been able to organize, which is of course the silver jewelry and now the lab-grown diamond jewelry. As a product use case, that's something that we've come in and sort of created as a product category niche within the market. Two, within the brand, we have invested significantly in both product quality as well as after sales service, and we've offered industry first elements that were not being offered before Jiva. So around silver jewelry, for example, Jiva promise is quite clear, right? Everything that we sell is 9 to 5 silver. There's a 30-day no questions asked return policy. It's a 6-month warranty, and there's a free lifetime replating that we offer to every consumer. On the gold side, there is lifetime exchange, lifetime buyback, right? Everything is IGL, SGL certified, BIS hallmarked. We do 14, 18, and 9 karat gold. So from our perspective, I think we have invested quite a bit in building a very healthy brand centered around very beautiful products, affordable price points, and enabling services that ensure the consumers have a hassle-free experience throughout their ownership journey. Now, through the course of this 6-year journey, right, just putting it into perspective and putting it into numbers of what we've been able to achieve, we've serviced 30 lakh plus customers. Today, online on our web and app, we have 5 crore plus monthly average users. We are pan India, we service 19,000 plus pin codes. Offline, we are in 260 stores. Additionally, we are also in 100 plus shop and shop counters across all the largest platforms, Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, Pantaloons. And one of the strengths that we have built our business on is design. The Jiva design on jewelry is something that stands out. And thus far, we have launched 6,000 plus designs since inception, which for a jewelry brand is an amazing achievement. Today, we are the largest player on every marketplace platform that you can think of: Amazon, Myntra, Blinkit, Instamart, Zepto, right? So, through the course of this 6-year journey, I think we've been very fortunate to have found very strong consumer love. We've been very steadfastly focused on creating very new designs with very high quality, and all the consumers have continuously rewarded us. And a lot of this you will also find across all the leading publications in the media. Moving on to offline. Today, we are, like I said, we are 260 stores live. That number will go to 350 by March. We are already looking at 325 by December end, which is essentially 265 which are live, 16 more under fit outs, and 44 more signed. We are present across all the leading brands that you can, all the leading mall brands that you can think of, whether it's DLF, Phoenix, Nexus, right? At the same time, we are present across all the leading high streets in all the top cities. Additionally, we also have 100 plus shop in shop counters, store in store counters across Shopper Stop, Pantaloon, Trends. And this is again something that we're continuing to scale, right? So combined as a brand, today we have 400 plus, I would say, shop fronts across the country where we're able to service customers. And offline for us has been a huge success story and something that we're continuing to grow. Just sort of tweaking and coming back to where we actually open and what do we actually offer to consumers from an offline perspective, right? So the Jiva business model is quite clear. We offer stores predominantly in jewelry and women retail zones. These will typically always be prime locations. They will have very high visibility, 800 to 1500 square foot area with very large frontage and signage. Across each of the stores, there's going to be a very wide assortment across silver, gold, and lab grown diamonds. Like I mentioned, 6,000 plus designs since the start. What that enables us to do is offer a very diverse selection to any and every consumer, whether be that women, be that men, be that kids. We have everything for everyone. At the same time, across any store, every store that you will visit, you will find that certified Jiva premium experience. Very high caliber, experienced and trained staff. All of the tech systems, SOPs have been designed in-house. Through this journey, we have also been quite fortunate. We have raised 1,000 crore plus of funding from several marquee investors. Some of these investors include, for example, Premji Invest. It's a leading PE firm in India. Aditya Birla Group, which is also an investor into Jiva. A91 again is a leading VC firm. Sixth Sense, India Quotient. So very large PE, VC as well as corporate houses. At the same time, a lot of typical very successful retail brands in India have also come in as angel investors through their founders. So companies like Lenskart, Myntra, First Cry, Sugar, a lot of these brand founders, senior executives are angel investors in Jiva and continue to be points of reference for us to bounce off ideas with and learn and grow, right? Now, just switching gears and moving on to what does the franchise program really mean for investors, right? So the idea with the Jiva franchise program is quite simple, right? What we are offering is a FOCO model, franchisee owned company operated model, And it's a get assured returns kind of a model, right? Essentially, what we're saying is it's not just a store, it's a ready to run success story. Typically, all the things that you will see at the store is something that Jiva will take care of in terms of store operations. The typical investment range will be anywhere between 80 lakhs to 2 crore, depending on the store. The return that we promise to partners is 18%. And all of this model is proven profitable. We have 50 plus franchisees signed live. Um, if I were to just break down when I say 18% return, what does that really mean from P&L perspective, right? So this is just an illustration, let's say, of one of the stores. Fundamentally speaking, let's say if it's an 80 lakh investment, that's divided into three parts. One part is the rental deposit, which is the deposit that someone will have to give against the store. Second part is the capex cost, which is the cost to set up the store on actuals. Third is the stock deposit, which is the inventory which you will be build. And again, the rental deposit and stock deposit are fully refundable. The capex, because it gets depreciated over the 5-year contract term, that goes to zero. Earning model is essentially an OR kind of model. One of the paths of earning is the margin on sales, where the base margin that we offer to franchisees is 23% on silver and 10% on gold and lab grown diamond. So one path of the earning chain is this margin minus all the expenses that the franchise has to cover will give you a certain number. If that number is less than the MG, which is anywhere between 1.5 to 2% of your total investment, including the capex, whichever number is higher, that is what the investor will get. So, for example, if the silver and gold margin minus expenses is more than MG, then they get this margin and they have to cover the expenses. If it's less than MG, then they get the MG and we also reimburse for the expenses. So, net take home for a partner is minimum the MG or the higher margin if they get the higher margin. If we put it into perspective and just look at a PNL, right? What we've tried to do is we've tried to create a PNL where we're being conservative, and what we're saying is, let's say all 5 years only the MG gets hit, right? Typically, for the store, the net revenue is plotted here: 276, 317, 365. This is on lakhs, so 2.8 crore, 3.2 crore, 3.6 crore. This is the yearly projection of sales. Out of this, based on the margin, there will be a certain COGS that the franchise will get. There are four kinds of expenses that a franchise has to cover. One is the rent, second is the manpower, third is marketing, which is basically 1 lakh per store per month, and then other expenses, which is essentially electricity, post charges, housekeeping charges, etc. So the net revenue minus the margin, minus all of these expenses should give you the net margin, which is on the base of 23% and 10% silver and gold. If this is greater than MG, then you get this. If this is less than MG, then you get MG net of expenses. So in this case, if you look at year one, what is technically happening is that your net revenue after all the expenses is coming out to, let's say, 1.5, which is less than the MG of 18.2. So what we will do is we will give you 18.2 plus all of the expenses that you're seeing here: rent, manpower, marketing, and others, right? So your net take home becomes 18.2. If you look at, therefore, the 5-year period, the net return that a partner will get is 18% after accounting for the fact that depreciation gets netted off over the 5-year period. One thing to note here is that jewelry is in what we call an inverted duty structure. Essentially, the output GST on jewelry is 3%, while the GST on expenses, rent, manpower, marketing is on 18%. And hence, often for investors, they will end up in a situation where they have additional input pending on their books, right? And hence, the archetype of investor that we look for are people that have another business with GST output available where they can offset this input against. So the return that we therefore promise to a partner, such a partner with such a business, is 18%. For a partner that has no other business, this return will typically be around 8%. So if I look at what we're essentially offering from a market proposition perspective, we are offering a fixed deposit return to any investor that has no other business. If the investor has a business with additional GST available, it's 18% return, which is much better than any other avenue available to them, be it fixed deposit, mutual funds, lending. And in this entire journey, Jiva will take care of the entire operations. Whether that's the location, we will find the location, we will scout the property, we will do the due diligences, we will do the fit out of the property, we will do the agreements, everything. The manpower is fully run by Jiva through a manpower service agreement with the franchise. All the staff at the store is ours. We take over all the liabilities. We take over all the running responsibility of the store. All the support and guidance within the store is done by Jiva, whether it's marketing support, sales support, on merchandising, store setup, staff training, all of that is managed by Jiva. Within the store, all the infrastructure, whether it's our in-house POS, our inventory management systems, whether it's statutory activities like bookkeeping, etc., is something that GIVA does. And lastly, all the returns, customer service, exchange, warranty, all of that is something that GIVA takes care of. That is not something that the franchise partner has to worry about, right? So just to summarize, right, Jiva 6-year journey where we've scaled from online only to offline, become the largest organized silver and lab-grown jewelry brand in the country. Core proposition for us is very elegant designs in fine jewelry, affordable price points for everyday wear. What we're bringing to market for franchisees is a FOCO model with a guaranteed 18% return, where Jiva takes care of all the operating activities at the store and the franchise is responsible for bringing in the investment and of course doing his own bookkeeping. So yeah, that is what we wanted to present. And I will just pause here and open the floor for any question, anything that anyone may want to sort of cover.
Right. So we are not open for the questions, though we have a couple of questions in the Q&A box. In case if you would like to take them up.
Yeah.
So it's there. So there is a question like, do you keep gold jewelry too, which you already have though answered? How do you make lab-grown jewelry? It will be on gold or silver only.
So all of our lab grown diamond is on gold. We don't do lab grown diamond on silver. And there is no purely gold pieces. Everything is gold plus lab grown diamond.
Okay. The next question I can see, then how can they set off GST output of another business with jewelry business? Or existing business may be different category.
Yeah, so that the government allows. Unrelated businesses can set off jewelry against can set off the GST from this business with an unrelated business, provided it's under the same GST. So typically, what you'll have to do is you'll have to get the HSN code for jewelry registered in that business, and then it's good to go.
Right, because you hope that answers your question. I would also encourage everyone to start asking your queries. Uh, Share it, but preferably in Q&A box, right? That is easily visible to us. We can see lots of questions in the chat box. Please once again talk about the MG, whichever is higher. Yeah, Rishi, in case if we can elaborate that once again.
Got it. So I'll actually simplify it quite a bit, right? So let's say there's a total investment of 1 crore, right? The model is a OR kind of model. So let's first take the first path of earning and then we'll talk of the second path. First path of earning is, let's say your revenue is whatever 100 rupees, right? On silver, you get a base margin of 23%, and on gold, you get a base margin of 10%, right? Now let's assume that you sell 50% silver, 50% gold. So on 100 rupees, that comes out to about 17, blended 17 rupees as your margin, right? Out of that, you will have to cover four big expenses. One is going to be the rent. Second is going to be the manpower. Third is going to be the marketing. And fourth is going to be all the other expenses, which is electricity, your post charges, payment gateway charges, etc. Right? Now, let's say you have earned the total 17 rupees and all of these expenses combined come out to, let's say, 16 rupees, which means you are left with 17 minus 16, 1 rupee, right? Now, the MG that we're offering, for example, let's say is 2% of your total investment of 1 crore monthly. So that becomes 2 lakh. So 1 lakh is less than 2 lakh. So what we will do is we will give you 2 lakh plus all the expenses that we spoke about, the four expenses that we mentioned. So given those expenses were 16, you will actually end up getting 2 plus 16, but you will also have to then pay out those expenses of 16. So you will get 2 to take home. But let's say if your earning is still 17, and your expenses are 13, in which case your net take home on the first path becomes 4. In that case, you get this 4 to keep. So that's the OR model of whichever is higher. So the minimum that you will take home is the minimum guarantee net of expenses. So if it's 1 crore and we say 2%, 2 lakh is the minimum that you will take home after expenses.
Right, great. Hope that answers your question, Mr. Reddy. Now, the next question is, how many stores are available in Delhi, NCR? And
Yeah.
and
So
is there any store in or near to South Delhi?
Yeah. So Delhi NCR is actually our strongest market. Combined, we have about 54 stores in Delhi NCR. In terms of store availability, etc., multiple stores available in South Delhi. What would be the right way is probably if you can reach out to the relevant franchise India SPOC and we can have that discussion store to store. But definitely lots of stores available near South Delhi, South, East, West, Gurgaon, everywhere.
Okay. The next important question is: can I be a prospect if doesn't have GST? What would be the ROI?
Yeah. So, you can still definitely be a prospect. That our typical ROI in that case would be equivalent to a fixed deposit. So 7 to 8% would be the typical return that you would get if you don't have GST. But still a very attractive opportunity to own a franchise and still get assured market FD returns.
Right. Let's take a few questions from the chat, from the Q&A also. There is a question, Farooq Mohammed. The total investment is coming around 1 CR, and what would what it would be the minimum guarantee?
Sorry.
So on the investment of 1 CR is asking what would be the minimum guarantee?
Yeah. So see, the minimum guarantee is defined as a percentage of the total investment. Typically, that's anywhere between 1.5 to 2% monthly of your total investment. So let's say if it's 2%, so that would be 2% of 1 crore, which is 2 lakh monthly. So 24 lakhs annually. But again, that depends store to store because what we do is we also give out running stores. So depending on the store age, the current sort of vintage of the store, etc., that MG number varies.
Right. Yes, we are getting a lots of questions. Meanwhile, a couple of questions from my side, like how does GIVA differentiate itself from the competitors right now? Do you compare yourself with maybe Tanishq Mia or Kathleen? If yes, then how you find yourself as the different from them?
Got it. Very interesting question, right? So I think, see, ultimately, jewelry is about the use case that you're solving for and what you're providing to the consumer, right? What I would say is we are very much a everyday wear brand, right? We want to promote women to wear everyday jewelry. We are not looking at jewelry as something that is an investment that you buy once, wear once, then put in the locker, right? That's not our model, right? So therefore, are we direct competitors to, let's say, Tanishq, etc.? Not in that segment. From a what we provide to consumers perspective is two, three things, right? One, fine jewelry, whether that's silver, whether that's gold, lab grown diamond. Two, elegant designs, and design being a key USP that differentiates us from everyone. In terms of our selection and the number of SKUs and the number of options that we offer is much larger than anyone else in the market. And third, affordable price points, right? Our pricing and our ability to deliver jewelry at very, very affordable price points is very good. So each of these brands that you mentioned are very good, and each of them plays in their own specific space. From our perspective, we don't really look at all of them as competing brands. A lot of us are complementary brands in terms of how we position in the market, right? They're serving different use cases and serving different metals and different kinds of consumers.
Right. Rishi, could you also please share like what percent of sales comes from your silver versus lab-grown diamonds versus the gold today, and how is it expected to shift over the next 3 years? Like, how do you see the market going?
Yeah, got it. So currently, so there are two categories that we do, right? There is silver and then there is gold plus lab grown diamond. We don't do just gold, it's always gold
Okay.
plus
Yeah.
lab grown diamond. Current mix is 50% silver, 50% gold and lab grown diamond. Both the categories are growing equally fast, right? What we expect to happen is we expect this mix to sort of continue going forward also, given that there are a few shifts that have happened in the market, right? Of course, with gold prices increasing, etc., the demand for silver has gone up. At the same time, with lab-grown diamonds coming in and our variety of jewelry within 14, 18 carat, that again is something that gets a positive tailwind when gold prices increase. So for us, both categories are equal and growing equally fast. So we expect this mix to sort of continue.
All right. Let's take a few questions. Lots of questions are there. Okay, how much GST output requires to get the get their store, what is the current average sales of the running outlets as of now for yours? In case if you would like to share any example.
Yeah. So see, the GST output required depends store to store depending on the sales projection. Some of our stores are very large, some of our stores are new. So that depends on where the store is in its journey. And what we typically do is whenever a prospect is interested, our team will get in touch and they will help create a P&L for that specific store. And then we take a very informed decision of what is the GST output that someone needs. And we then sit with the partner to also understand if that's something that's comfortable for them, right? So I think on GST output, because it's store to store contingent, there's not a blanket number. I would say it would make better sense to sort of choose the store, have the PNL created, and then we get into those conversations. Again, in terms of revenue per store, again, it's a confidential number, but it is upwards of 20-25 lakhs.
Okay, there's another question. I'm having a GST number in UP. So can I be eligible to get stored in other state also? And how?
No, so typically, because you're going to be selling goods, you will definitely need a GST in that state. So yeah, you would typically the GST number that you have in the state, that's the state where you would offer the store.
And what is the typical product mix, silver and gold plus lab grown diamonds in the franchise stores?
Again, that depends catchment to catchment, store to store. Typically, what you would have in a store is about roughly 1,200, 1,300 options of silver and about 3 to 400 options of gold.
Okay. There's another question. Can I open store in my property also? I mean, in case if someone owns his property, can I do that?
सोलह में खुल रहा है जीवा हाँ तो 16 में खुल रहा है वीडियो की वाली लाइन अच्छी की तरफ
Can they do this?
Yeah.
ये
So,
आरएनजी कौन सा ब्रांड है
Hmm.
yeah.
Please go ahead.
So that provision is there. It has to still go through our property approval process. So typically we take that property, we do our own internal processes. First, the property gets approved and then we go ahead. But that provision is there.
Okay. Are you open to convert your existing stores into FOFO? I mean, COCO to FOFO.
So what we do is we convert our existing stores to FOCO. We don't offer a FOFO model.
FOCO. All right.
FOCO, yeah. So it is our current model is just that we convert existing stores into FOCO.
Okay. Can we take existing stores without GST? I think GST is required.
Yeah.
Can someone go for the store without having any GST? No. Yes.
No, so when you say GST without a GST number, no, they will need GST to do the business. But without GST output, yes, but the return will be lesser. Return will be 7-8% and not 18%.
All right. Someone is asking for your average store performance in Patna, particularly. Like any idea in case if you can share.
Again, those would be confidential. Once we get to
Okay,
a
I got
future,
it.
future
So,
discussion, we can open that up. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Another question is like, how has been your response in South India, where consumers prefer traditional brands and style like they use in weddings and festivals?
Yeah.
We understand that it is everyday jewelry, right?
Yeah.
Primarily into everyday jewelry. However, in case if you can share your experience,
Yeah.
in southern part of India.
Yeah. So, see, South India for us has again been quite a good market. And I'll sort of divide it into two parts, right? There is the metropolitan, cosmopolitan areas like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, where we do very, very well, right? These are Bangalore again is our second largest market for us, 50 stores. Hyderabad is again 20 plus stores, right? Chennai again 15 plus stores. So all of these markets have responded quite positively to the Jiva value proposition. Some of the, I would say, smaller towns, etc., is something that I think we've only recently ventured. Again, we're seeing positive traction, but something that we need to still see and observe. But from a use case perspective, how they're responding to the use case as well as our products across all the states that we ventured into has been very good for us. And performance is at par with every other state in the country.
Okay, how about the areas like cities like Dehradun and Lucknow? Are you open for that?
Yeah, we have stores in Dehradun and Lucknow. We're open to those stores also.
Are you having stores in Middle East and will you give minimum guarantee there too?
No, we are not in Middle East. We are live in international operations are live, but right now in Sri Lanka.
Okay, but are
Not in
you
Middle.
open for Middle East, by the
No,
way?
not right now.
Not
It
right
will
now.
first
Okay.
go and we will do, yeah.
And how you're doing the business in Sri Lanka? Like, is it FOCO?
Fully cocoa. That's not available to
FOCO.
FOFO. Fully
FOCO.
cocoa, company owned.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And how many stores do you have, by the way, there?
Three, going to four now. Yeah.
All right. Quickly, I mean, I can see a lot of questions related to the KRA of a franchisee. Like, so in case if you can just define what all responsibility will be of someone who take your store in
Yeah.
FOFO model,
Yeah.
day-to-day management like.
No, so fundamentally speaking, right, I think because it's a FOCO model, we don't want someone to be involved in store operations. I think that's something that the company takes care of. What we look for from franchise partners is, of course, one, investment, two, regular payments of rent, etc., all of those statutory expenses, and third, making sure that their own record keeping and their own bookkeeping is happening, right? They're filing their GSTs, doing their own compliances. I think those are really the only three requirements that we look at.
Okay, do you have stores in Raipur or Chhattisgarh?
Yes, we do.
You have it. Primarily, which part of India you dominate more? Like you have more business and number of stores.
See, so we are 270 stores pan India, right? So we
Mhm.
have 50 plus cities across every state, right? So I think everywhere we have stores, and I think most of those are available for the right partners.
All right, so I think we probably have answered almost all the questions, right? More or less, they're looking for uh, a possibility in their own state. I think with the 270 stores, probably this brand is spread all across India, right? However, any particular area or city or state you are primarily focused more right now? Rishi? Any?
No, I think we are pan India, and I think we will continue to expand, right? From 270, we're going to 350 and then 500, right? So I think from our perspective, we're quite open. The focus is going to be on the all parts of the country, top 8 cities, top 20, top 30, top 40, everything is open. And because it's our own existing stores that we are giving and we're converting to focus stores, we also know the location that we can offer to potential investors. So the right approach from our perspective is that if an investor is interested in a region, they should reach out and they should check if there's a store available there, and we can sort of offer whether the store is available, what are the economics of that store, and then we can take it forward if that makes sense or doesn't.
Okay, fair question. One of the fair question I can see. What is my risk in case store doesn't perform? Like what all support you would be providing? What would be the process in case if someone
Yeah. See, so fundamentally speaking, because there is an MG, right? The risk for the franchise partner is not really
is
there.
not right? Correct. Agree.
Yeah, because we're giving that minimum guarantee, it automatically takes care of the risk.
Correct. And also, I mean, you will taking care of the all the operational parts, so
Correct.
you know better how to run that.
Correct.
Good. Okay. What will be my involvement in store in terms of operation? I guess nothing.
No, it's an investor model.
Correct. So all the operational part, because this is a FOCO model, so all the operational part, all day-to-day, operations will be taken care by the brand. So you just have to, help the brand establish the store and uh, the inventory. That's it. All right. So probably we have answered almost all the questions. I can see still lots of questions. Okay. What is the monthly sale uh, outlet in Mumbai location? Any case in case if you can share any idea how Mumbai stores are doing.
Again, Bharat, I would request that some of this get routed through the right channels, right? I think, yeah. Depending on the store, depending on the location, we'll sort of take a call and we'll share, of course, share that data. Yeah, it's confidential, so we can't really share it on open forums. Yeah.
So the next and the last question will take, are you open for tier two cities? I think 270 stores are
Yeah.
open and probably more majorly are in tier one and of course in tier two cities. Uh, so you are in Patna and what other cities in Bihar?
So, see, across pan India, you would find multiple tier two cities: Patna, Rohtak, Hisar, Tirupati, Dehradun, right? So I think across the country, we are now in a lot of different cities. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, hopefully that helps you, that gives you an idea like what all cities we are available in. In fact, I mean, this I probably have seen this brand in not many stores, cities, right? So this brand is open for tier one, tier two, maybe tier three also if all the criteria meet. So in case if anyone would like to get in touch, uh, for this brand, you can connect with Akash. Akash has already shared his number in the chat box. Akash, once again, you can do that, right? We have had lots of questions in the chat box. So please, you can connect with Akash right after this webinar. He will arrange a call with the brand side, and you can have a detailed discussion about. I know lots of financials questions were not answered because of course, you should understand that we cannot disclose it online. So yes, you can arrange. We will arrange a call separately. You can have a discussion with us. So you can connect maybe in Akash, or maybe in case if you would like to get in touch with Franchise India, you can connect to 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. So I think that's it. Let me just check. Is there any franchisee fee or renewal fee applicable after a certain period?
No.
No, not at all. All right. All right. So thanks so much, Rishi and the team for joining us on this webinar and presenting fabulous presentation and of course great brand, right? Lots of scope, already proven model, 270 stores. That tells the whole story, right? So it is a great opportunity in case if anyone would like to be a part of their success journey. You can connect to Akash, or you can connect to the number I have shared in the chat box, and then we will arrange a call separately with Rishi and team, and we can have a deep dive discussion about the opportunities. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us and asked your questions. I really appreciate you all for putting forward your all questions. And Rishi, thanks so much, Rishi and team, everyone. Thanks so much for coming here today. Presenting your brand, fabulous opportunity, and a great brand, of course. So that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. See you tomorrow once again with a new brand, and we'll explore another business opportunity. But before we end, any closing remarks from your side, Rishi? Would you like to share anything?
So I think, like I said, right, I think we have scaled quite a bit now. We're looking for franchise partners. We want to give a very lucrative opportunity to the right partners. And I think it's a really great opportunity to be part of a brand that is trying to redefine jewelry space in India. And at the same time, a very new age brand built on omni-channel, digital, and a lot of cutting edge technology avenues that I would say is something that we present to our investors. Yeah, and thank you so
Fantastic.
much for
Thank you.
having us.
Thank you. All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining.